And today what I want to talk about is our EasyIn in-roof system. This is a small outline of what you will hear. I will talk about the product details, and then later on I will tell you about the components and also the way of ordering the system, so that you have a broad overview on the whole system. So what we are talking about today is building integration, but not building integration as you see it there, but for a roof like this, a regular roof. That is what we're talking about, and that is also the product we have here, this EasyIn system for pitched roofs. And to just give you a really small overview before I go into detail, what do we have? We have a module which we already launched in 2011. This is this product. This product was a glass foil product, and from this product we have installed more than 10 megawatts of peak power. So we are confident with this product. This product worked because we have such experience. What we have done now, we have changed it. We have made a facelift, you would say, in the automotive industry. We have now a glass product, so that this module is as all the other products with a glass in front and a glass in the back. We have a much longer service life because of that. We are also less expensive than before, and you can have a style edition as a black module as well. The powers you can see right now available in 280 and 285 watts. Those are the typical characteristics where you could say this is also what we have had before in the product. With this product you replace your tiles on the roof, so you don't need any tiles in this space. What you also have is you have for snow load, the snow can slide off here because we have a design of the frame that the snow can slide off. Actually, this design is due to the water that has to run over. We don't want to have that the water stays on the roof, but it is also very helpful for the snow, which means you have a higher yield because you have no snow in the wintertime on your module, instead of another right next to it that doesn't have that. Furthermore, we have a ventilation system that you can see there with the green encircled area also here, which means we do have a system for air ventilation underneath it in the way you build your roof, and with all those holes inside you will have a proper ventilation, so the yield is not going to go down in comparison to a regular situation where you have it on top of the roof. Furthermore, the black experience, that you have really an aesthetic volume to your roof. You can have black shingles, and it just looks as a whole, not as something that I adapt to the roof, not something that came later on. For your safety as an installer, and also as for the product itself, we do have a patent system for fasting of this module. We do have system statics, which means we completely calculate it all through for the whole system. If you integrate it in your roof and you use all the equipment that we deliver, and you use the screws, then you're completely safe. You don't have to have different statics or civil engineer going over it. You're completely safe, and you can always have this data from us in case there is some problem because of damage or whatever. You need no additional mounting system, and we do have another set that helps you also fitting into the tiles, where you can have it's a flashing that you put right here that is included into the system, that you have a nice connection to the roof tile if you have a roof tile right next to it, so that it is one smooth way. Well, this is something that we already had in your system in the system before with the foil. What we now have is a glass product, and just to give you an understanding why we say now you have much more warranty, much more lifetime, it's the characteristics of the glass itself. When you see it here, a regular module does have a glass in front, then you have the embedding materials, and then the cell, and in the back you have a foil. You see that also here, the glass, the cell, and the foil. In the glass module, it's a bit different. You don't have the foil on the back, but you have a glass on the back, and the cell is not at the bottom anymore, but in the middle. We call this the neutral plane. And the good thing about this neutral plane is regarding the mechanics. If you bend something like that, this is really nice here. If you bend it like this, something, you know, when you have a snow load on the module, you bend it like this. The snow is here. You bend it like this. In order that these edges stay at the same position, you have to pull this last sheet very, very much. And this is something that the cells don't like. They don't like to be pulled because they're they break very easily. And that doesn't happen when you have it in the neutral zone. And with this stretching, you have micro cracks that you don't see, and those micro cracks, you don't see them right away. You will not lose any power, but you will see them after 2-3 months because it moves all the time. You have wind load, and you have the thermal expansion, things like that. It moves all the time, and once in a while those cracks start growing, and then maybe in the worst case you have a hot spot, meaning that your module might actually burn. So that is something we don't have with the glass, and that is for us a thing for in-roof system, because this is even more dangerous. You don't want to have this kind of stuff. What you shouldn't do with a glass foil module, but what you can do with a glass module, because of that, you can have a load on this module. Nothing happens, no cracks, nothing. Now, that is the mechanical load that you get because of this way of constructing the module. Another thing that you see is down here. This is actually the chemical resistance of the module. As you can imagine, you have a foil on the back, and a foil is never tight. There's always air or water coming in because there are very, very small pores in it. You cannot make it poreless. That's unfortunately the way. And because of that, you have steam and other media coming into the module. Very slowly, but it does happen. And with the glass, you don't have that. The glass blocks those kind of media. You don't have water going through. And this is the point for the long-lasting or for the lifetime of the product. If you have the water coming in, the water will corrode your cell. Water will start corroding your cells. It goes very, very slowly, but it does. It does happen. And you can see this in this chart. We have the Dampede test here as an environmental simulation. What we do is we put them in a simulator. You have 80 degrees Celsius and 85% of moisture in this cell, and then we leave it there. You see that in hours. This is 1,000 hours, 2,000 hours, and 4,000 hours. And what you can see is this is a regular glass foil module, and this is a glass module. And after 2,000 hours, this is in our branch something like 20 years. It's always difficult to say. But after 20 years, this module glass foil is still okay. What we do is, after those hours, we take it out and measure the power it still has. 2,000 hours, still okay. But then it starts losing. It starts losing badly, actually. In 4,000 hours, you have not even half of the module's original power anymore. And with the glass, you don't have that because it is very slow for steam to come in. It's very slow for other media which are corrosive. So the glass gives not only the benefit of the mechanical load, but it gives the benefit also of the chemical resistance, and that's really cool. And that's why I always prefer this kind of a product. So in the aftermath, when you look at that, we can now say our product, we give you 30 years of warranty on it. Can now say our product is as good as a tile, because when you look at the tile producers, they give you 30 years for the tiles as well. We know that our product will last longer, but we give you the 30 years. So we can say 30 years, that's something for a roof. That's really something. We do have a price reduction because we can now use our glass material that we use for the regular solar modules as well, which means for us standardization, more efficiency, and we do give this price to you as a customer or as a trader as well. We have improved fire resistance, which comes naturally if you imagine a plastic foil and a glass. So what's going to burn first? Don't want to talk about that much more. We do have a installation manual now with varying tiles, a lot of tiles where we tell you how to put them, how to manage them, that they fit perfectly to the product. And we do have a convenient online planning tool so that the installer really can plan with the end customer or with the customers at all what the whole thing should look like. This is what we have new with the glass module. And what we always get the question is, well, maybe I should buy, no, I don't want to buy an integrated module because it's more expensive than if I put it on top of the roof. For this thing we have this kind of answer, meaning this product is a product that is an aesthetic product. So you have a customer that is focused on an aesthetic product, which means this customer will not buy a product that has a blue cell with a natural colored or a silver colored frame. They will buy a black module. So now they have the chance, they can buy an integrated system or they can buy a black module which they put on top of a roof. So that is the starting from our comparison. So we have now compared this black module without integration and the module EasyIn with integration. And what you can see is you have the mounting system, what you have to add to the without the integration frame. You have the underlayment, you have the tiles. We have two different types of tiles now in the calculation, meaning if I buy some aesthetic, then I should buy a tile like that looks nice, not the cheapest. So the tile like that costs 24 to 30 euros. If you buy the cheapest, you end up with 15, but it makes no sense. And for the EasyIn, you will not have to pay this because this is all included or it's not necessary. You don't need the tiles. So if you look at the end, you end up in the same cost. So depending on the tile, even better. So you can always communicate it's the same or even better than before. Those are things that really people appreciate, and I appreciate it. Also, I really like this product. It's really cool. It's my product. But then, if you come up to the point where you want to order, we do give you help in ordering. We do have a sheet where you have to sign make some crosses. What kind of loads you have in your area. Of course, the product cannot be installed all over the place. You cannot install it on a very high mountain because you have a snow load. That is not possible. But we check that because we want to make sure that your statics works and everything works. You get the first, we call the planning sheet. If this planning sheet is all green, you get all the way through. Then we can go on with the planning tool. You see the planning tool right here. You can see, you can always, point on that, and then it appears or not appears. You can move the blue fields or the panels. You can move them wherever you want. The red one is something like a chimney or something that you might have on your roof. So you can plan this as well. You can always move it and switch it all over the place. And then in the end, you get, actually as an installer or as someone that gets it from us, you get a list of components that are all included in the system and that you will get with the system. So you get all the numbers, all what you need, and they will all be sent to you. Well, that's how it looks at the end. When you look at the components, you get the underlayment from us. It's included. You get the module. We do have one batten, a metal batten that we use. You get that batten included. We have the screws. The screws are matched, so you have just one tool. It's a Torx 25, so you have just one tool. You have a suction resistant to screw it to the roof. You have a sealing, and then those parts are actually to make a good connection to the tiles. So you don't need those three parts for all the modules, but just for the edges of the whole field. But they are also included. You can set up a roof like that. I believe it is a nice and very good looking alternative to regular on top module. And here we have some pictures of an old installation. You see the battens here, the regular battens you use, the regular rafter batten roof. as a base, and we tell you where you have to install them, but it's a regular based roof. You screw the module to the roof so that it doesn't fly off. You know, the screws are included. We have this ceiling here for the modules to interconnect in between, and at the end you just have those tiles that you put on the sides that it looks nice. When you finish, it looks like that. What is very important also, we are we would say whole supplier. We do have energy production. That is what we have talked now about. We have energy management or energy storage. That is what you can also have with the system, and it's also it is adjusted to those components, so you can always have an added value. And also the EasyIn system itself is just from us. Everything is from us. We have not bought anything to it. So if there's ever a problem with it, you have just one to talk to, not 3 or 5 other system components partners that are negotiating whose fault it was. That's almost finished now. A summary: we have a patented system right here. We give you the 30 years of warranty with this product, which is it's a benchmark, I believe. We have a very attractive appearance. It is comprehensive, easy to install. We have a very good manual, I believe, and it comes everything from one source. And maybe as a USP also for installer, the installer can say, well, I'm capable of doing things like that, because this looks a bit more complex. It is not much more complex, but it looks more complex. And if you have installer A and B, then in one village, you can say A can do it, B cannot, if they don't want. So this is something that is maybe attractive for installers. Thank you for your attention.